Damn, what's going on here? It's just after 6 in the morning and fog has covered the earth. I can't even see Clark Airport. Visibility is so bad. My gosh. Okay, it's just after 7 now and the fog has lifted. Thank God. I was wondering if the fog was set in for the rest of the day. It's looking good and we are good to go. Let's go. Headed to the Air Force City Open Air Museum. Welcome back to Live by Choice, and here at the Clark Air Force City Open Air Museum, we're going to see old retired military aircraft that was once used by the Philippine and U.S. Air Force. You think about the people, the pilots that flew these aircrafts. You think about the missions that they went on. Just think about their history. Though they're here, old, worn and torn, of no use anymore, but there was a time when these aircraft were active military aircraft. The history that is behind each and every one of these aircraft, we probably could not even begin to imagine. Clark Air Base was one of the largest overseas U.S. military air bases before being turned over to the Philippine government in 1991, after the eruption of Mount Pinatubo and the end of the U.S. bases agreement. Let's go and see these aviation heroes, these legends, up close. This iconic hero is the T-28 Trojan, an aircraft that trained generations of military pilots after World War II. But make no mistake, it wasn't just a trainer, it was also a very capable attack aircraft, serving in conflicts around the world. You've probably seen them in the old war movies where they're having these aerial combat fights. They used to call dog fights back in the day. It was powered by a massive 1,400 horsepower radial engine that bridged the gap between basic training and the jet age. You are looking at a true military war hero. Yeah. Now feast your eyes on the F-5A Freedom Fighter, a supersonic fighter aircraft developed by the U.S. during the late 1950s and introduced in the early 60s. It became one of the most widely exported fighter aircraft of the Cold War. It had two General Electric J85 turbo engines and a top speed of Mach 1.4. The Philippine Air Force operated the F-5A Freedom Fighter from the 1960s until it was retired in 2005. It served as the country's primary supersonic fighter for decades and played an important role in air defense and pilot training. As old and as ancient as this aircraft is, it feels amazing to be up close and see it up close. I can just imagine it in its heyday, tearing up the skies. Here, we have the Vought F-8 Crusader, one of the most iconic American fighter aircraft of the Cold War. Nicknamed the last of the gunfighters, it was the last U.S. fighter designed with guns as its primary weapon before missiles became the main focus. The F-8 earned an outstanding reputation during the Vietnam War, achieving an air-to-kill ratio of roughly 6-1 against North Vietnamese MiGs. Pilots appreciated its speed, maneuverability, and powerful cannons, especially in close-range dogfights, where missiles of that era were not always reliable. This supersonic bad boy had a top speed of around Mach 1.8, burning up the skies. Here we have the iconic UH-1H Huey, one of the most iconic helicopters ever built. It became famous during the Vietnam War and remains in use around the world today. One of the most recognizable things about the Huey is its distinctive sound, that whoop, 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 rotor sound. You know, I can't make that sound. But you know what I'm talking about. I know you've heard it. We hear it on or in movies, especially the old war movies. We hear that distinctive, recognizable sound from that most iconic helicopter ever built. Even up to today, the Huey is still being used all over the world, including here in the Philippines, for disaster relief, humanitarian missions, troop transport, medical evacuation, combat support, all sorts of things. It's the workhorse of the Air Force and the Navy. This is the Lockheed T-33 Shooting Star. It looks like a shooting star too. This aircraft was one of the world's most successful jet trainer aircraft. It trained generations of military pilots from the late 1940s onward. Unlike the single-seat F-80 fighter, the T-33 had its fuselage stretched to accommodate a second cockpit for an instructor. It quickly became the standard jet trainer for the U.S. Air Force and was exported to more than 30 countries around the world. The Philippine Air Force used this bad boy for decades. It serves as the country's primary jet trainer and also performed air defense and patrol duties. I'd love to know which one of these aviation legends is your favorite. Let me know in the comments. All the pilots, all the personnel, they were living by choice. They chose to join the military. They chose to become pilots. They chose to fight for the country. And we see here the history that they made, the legacy that they left behind. Live by choice. Live your life understanding that every choice we make shapes our future. Life does happen beyond our control at times, but we always have a choice in how we respond. Thanks for watching and see you next time. He's getting away. Hurry, more ammo.